How do you truly stop inflation in an economy? That's what I want to cover in this video because at least at the time of this recording, maybe you've heard the term inflation. It's kind of flying around all over the place, but I also want to convey this from an educational standpoint. So whenever you're watching this, whether it's, right when I, upload it and release it, or if it's years from now, this is still at the core how you would truly stop inflation within an economy. So what is inflation? Inflation is just at the core, in a very basic way, prices are going up, right? So something was worth, something was priced at $8. 6 months later, it's at $8.50. A little bit longer after that, it's at $9, right? That price is going up, and that's what inflation is considered to be. So if inflation is too high, is out of control, how would you actually stop it? Well, let's just think about how this all works. So, and I'm just making these, I'm not saying that this is actually what anything is, but to keep the numbers straightforward, let's just say that inflation right now is at 5%. So if inflation is at 5%, there's another number out there that needs to be considered within all of this. And this number is known as an interest rate. So an interest rate has all sorts of functions, but I'm not going to go into all those functions other than the fact of it does play a role. It does play a role in how much money you'll get paid to actually save your money, right? If you open up a banking account and there's going to be savings rates, and a savings rate, a CD rate, certificate of deposit, what kind of rate, what kind of interest rate are you getting paid, on your checking account or your savings account? This is the interest rate that's going to be influencing that. So let's just say at this point that the interest rate that you can get for putting your money, in a checking account is 1%. So the question becomes, okay, well, at this point, so somebody's going to look at this scenario and they're going to, wonder, okay, I'd like to buy something. And this something, whatever it is, I know in 1 year from now is going to be 5% more. So should I buy it now or should I wait? Should I wait for it and save for it? And what are they going to make when they save? 1%. So should I wait a year and just, save that money because I'm going to get paid 1% so that in a year I'm going to pay 5% more? Hopefully you're like, no, Clay, that literally doesn't make any sense. Why would you wait to save to get 1% when you know it's going to go up 5%? No, just buy it now. Like that literally, if you do the math there, right, how much would you be paying more? Well, you would take inflation rate, 5%, and you'd subtract whatever that interest rate is, which is 1%, meaning you would be paying 4% more. So do you really want to pay 4% more for something? Well, no, let's just buy it right now. And of course, people keep buying stuff right now, which is keeping inflation and prices higher and higher. And it's just a cycle, well, that keeps on going and going. So how do we actually change this situation around? Because what's going on here, this is all just a behavior. And it is a behavior based on logic, right? It's a behavior. Now, that doesn't mean that people should be doing this. If they're looking, should I buy this, this boat, this camper, this object that they don't actually need? Well, yes, in a mathematical, in a philosophical sense, yeah, they should, because with these numbers, why would they wait 1 year to save and get paid 1% to save for 1 more year when they know the thing's going to be 5% more next year? So doesn't mean you should be doing it. Doesn't mean you actually need it. But from casting all that aside and looking at it from strictly a mathematical point of view, yeah, you should buy now if you think that it's going to be getting more and more expensive. So like I said, it's all based in a behavior, and this behavior is, whether or not it needs to be done is solidified in logic. So the way you change inflation is you need to change behaviors. Change behaviors to what? Well, what is this situation right here? What is this a behavior of? What is this an attitude of? Spend. Spend money, because why would I wait 1 year to spend money when I know that money is actually going to have, less purchasing power? Again, in this situation, why wait when I know that by waiting, I'm going to actually pay 4% more? A penny saved is a penny earned. So if I spend now, that's the same as making 4% because, hey, I saved avoiding having to pay 4% more, right? This is all mathematically, it's completely valid. So this is all the spend mentality. So how do you actually change all of this? And you change all of it by taking this interest rate. So let me say this. Oh, we're going to tackle inflation. We're going to take care of inflation. And they raise that up to 1.5%. Is that going to do anything? You're going to be like, 1.5%? Why am I going to save for 1 year at 1.5% if this object is going to go up 5%? What is raising interest rates 0.5% going to do? What do you have to do if you want to change the mentality from spend to now save? So if you want to change people's habits, this interest rate has got to go up to at least what? Hopefully saying, well, you know what? It's got to go up to at minimum 6%. Because now what is going on here? Now this person can say, you know, I want that something, whatever that something is. But you know, if I just wait a year, I'm going to get paid 6%. And sure, it might go up 5%, but I mean, I'm still actually making 1%. Like I'm getting paid to wait. I'm getting paid to save. So in all actuality, by waiting 1 year, this becomes cheaper. How so? Well, we just flip the math around, right? So now we have 5% minus 6%, which equals negative 1%. Meaning by waiting 1 year, that item got 1% cheaper. But here's the kicker. Here's the thing, the way that it'll start to work out. And again, how you start to bring inflation down is, well, now a bunch of people are like, and again, this is just 1%. Let's say it was, 7, 8%. Well, now that item, by waiting, by saving, not to mention by waiting and saving and avoiding debt, because you just decide to save up for it on your own, not only are you getting, the item is costing less from a percentage standpoint, but it's also going to cost less from this percentage, right? Because in all actuality, if everybody stops buying it and piling in because of the spend mentality, if things get changed to a save mentality, then what? Prices are not going to keep going up if people just are like, nah, I'm going to wait for the price to level out, come back down, because I'm going to save. And I'm going to save because I'm actually getting paid to save. I'm literally making money to save and wait for that price to come down. And when you have the mentality now of save, a bunch of people are going to do that, which means in all actuality, this thing's going to drop down to, let's just say inflation drops down to 3%. So now in this equation, it's actually 3% minus 6%. So now what? Now it's a negative 3%. So by waiting and, again, not only avoiding debt to wait, but just getting paid to wait, now all of a sudden that item has become 3% less than what it was in the first hand. And inflation is going to get smoked and hammered in the face. So if you really want to actually solve inflation, you've got to get people to want to save money. And the way you get them to save money is to make them realize that if they save, they're actually making more money as compared to spending their money right now. And you do that by, you got to tackle, it's all about interest rates. And, it's laughable out there to see, because in the real world, and I'm just going to use the timing at this video, but like, oh, we're going to get aggressive with our money policy. We're going to raise interest rates to 1.25%. Okay, yeah, that's not going to do anything. But and hence the title, how you actually are going to solve it and handle it within an economy. You got to change the mentality from spend to save, and this is how you do it. If there are any questions or anything like that, leave those comments down below. And, you can, or questions or anything, I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoy these sorts of videos where I explain, topics such as this that are, not only just basic economic principles, but are very relevant to kind of the times right now, then let me know in the comment section or just hit that like button, or always appreciate it. And also check out the channel as a whole. If you like what you see after seeing other videos, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. But there you go. This is how you truly actually solve the inflation rate problem. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.